Okay, cool. We're live. Hi.
Hi. So this is our third 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 episode. Third episode. Oh my God, it's a third episode.
Third one that's actually happened, fourth one that we've attempted.
I gotta get me some new headphones, man. I cannot stand this. You
It'll
know how
probably
like for
help
the
with
longest
Discord,
time,
like cutting out stuff too. Yeah.
the longest time when you used to have corded headphones and you would just like drop your phone and then yank your headphones.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It was like a running joke for a while. Anyways, I'm Alex.
I'm Bryn.
And did you know that the Cambridge Dictionary's word of the year is parasocial?
It's us. We got it in just in time. Cambridge
We
definitely listens
did.
to us. There are one whole viewer right now.
Yep, they're totally like huge fans of the podcast,
Mm-hmm.
obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it's kind of funny though that that is like so I was on the dreaded Twitter the other day and I was looking at the feed and everyone's like, "Oh, the Cambridge Dictionary word of the year is parasocial." And I was like, "How convenient that we just named our podcast that.
Right?
We are
Like,
clearly on trend."
absolutely.
That might be the only thing we're on trend for.
Probably. Probably.
I'm in academic hellscape. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Paper
I feel
and
like I
test
mean at least
hell.
yeah, I feel like most people in the US right now are also in academic hellscape. So I'm not alone in my suffering, but it does feel like the end of the world when, for some reason, the universities keep doing this thing where they're like, or not even, I don't even know if it's universities or if it's professors. It could be, it could be either. But they'll say, so you don't have a lot of work on finals week. I'm gonna put all of your stuff due on the first day of finals.
That's
Except that
fucked
if
up.
you, like me, have all of your tests due, all of your finals are on the first day of finals, then it just means that like everything for every
Ew.
class you have is all due on the same day.
Awful.
And
Horrible.
yeah, if you're also like me and you have really bad ADHD and task avoidance, then what that means is that you have about 3 all-nighters. I haven't slept more than 4 hours in the past week. I'm dying.
Jesus. And you still decided to be here
Me
instead of taking a 30-minute nap.
No, because what happens is if I take the 30-minute nap, it does not stay a 30-minute nap. It becomes a 2-hour nap, and
Mm.
I wake up and I feel like I've like walked into an alternate dimension. I'm like sweating, my mouth is dry. I'm like, ugh, like I've been zombified. It's terrible. And at this point, you just got to push through until you're gonna get that nice 14 hours at the end.
Man, 14 hours if only. I don't think I've ever slept more than 12 on like a regular night of sleep.
I'm like 100% sure you slept 14 hours when you were at my place for MomoCon.
Okay, that fair, but also that was probably the most physical activity I had had within like months of doing that. So I was tired.
I mean, you gotta get your steps up. How are you gonna visit me in Japan?
Eh, I'll probably just be exhausted then too.
You'll die. There's no way you can survive 20,000 steps a day. I can barely survive 20,000 steps a day. And I'm not some kind of like super fit
I don't
person,
know.
but
I
I do
used to
walk
manage
a
like going
lot.
to wow, I can speak so well. I used to manage going to Disney World pretty well. That's a lot of walking.
True. Speaking of Disney, I saw the new Zootopia 2 movie, and I have to say, as someone who's an avid hater of Zootopia, it was actually really good.
You hate Zootopia? Why?
I don't like animals that look like people that then behave like people that then are metaphors for racial allegories.
Oh, didn't consider that. Fair enough.
I think it's weird that there's definitely an implied, if not canon, relationship between a fox and a rabbit when every other couple in the entire movie is a same species couple. And now that's like, maybe that's a metaphor for like homophobia, but also, if every single couple in the entire universe is a same species couple, I don't feel like you're making some kind of bold statement by having a fox and a rabbit be shacking up.
I didn't really think that was a bold statement. I thought that was just those are the main characters, so of course they've got to do it.
But right, but also why? Because every other character, every other couple in the movie is a same species couple. Why can't they thought, can they not just be friends? Like,
No,
not
it's a
to push
Disney
the
movie.
can't
There
they
has
just
to
be
be some
friends
romance
narrative?
plot.
Oh god, don't even get me started. That means in the third one there's gonna be some kind of like other fox or other rabbit that shows up,
There wasn't in
tries to
the second
separate
one.
them. There wasn't in the second one. It was
Hmm.
still a it was a metaphor for anti-immigration instead of racism specifically.
Mm.
I mean, I'm glad that we're talking about it. I'm glad that we're talking about racism and xenophobia, but I also just the universe unsettles me. Kind of like the Cars movies, like those also really unsettle me because like if a person were to get inside of a car from a Cars movie, are you like sitting in their organs? What
See, the
happens?
cars from the Cars movies are either bugs or animals. That is one like living unit, and that's its exoskeleton.
Right, but that's also really kind of fucked up. Like
Oh,
you
sure,
have
but
to
you
admit that
obviously
that's
don't
kind
get
of
into
fucked up.
one. Those doors don't open.
Doors.
Hmm.
Like but
I
also that's not true because the car that drives Lightning McQueen to like how he ends up in Radiator Springs in the first movie
Now that's
is like
not a
a
car. That's a truck. There's a difference.
okay.
And that
The
was his
semi
trailer. The
truck.
trailer's like a detachable thing.
So it's like a fucking backpack,
Yeah, that was just his backpack.
but then there's other instances of trailers that are not being used like that, like for other types of shipping.
Oh, like you use every backpack exactly the same.
No, I mean like it's not a backpack, like it's part of their body.
Well, sure, not everybody's built the same.
Okay, so they're like kangaroos. Have a built-in pouch.
Sure.
They're not bugs, they're marsupials.
I mean, it's funny that this is what you're focusing on when not only are in Cars 2 there are little airplanes that are pigeons, and even in Cars 1 the tractors are cows and the bugs are like little flying winged cars. In Cars 2 there are boats that both have cars in and on them, but also they're a full large sentient being that also like shoots missiles and stuff, however you want to think about that. But no,
I was honestly
let's focus on literally the first 10 minutes of the movie. The first movie.
to be entirely fair, I don't remember Cars 2. I didn't see Cars 3 or any of the subsequent films, or Planes or any of the, like, spin-offs,
See, yeah,
and
like
the last time I
they try to
watched
make
the
planes
first
like
one
birds, but then planes are like actual things. Like planes are their own people. And also again, you focus on the the towing trailer with Mac, but like there's like a 747 type like passenger plane thing that has like a cargo bay that Mater does like a dramatic like spy car chase scene like jumps up into, and there's like a whole like spy car like little operation room in there, like a little headquarters, but also it's a sentient plane.
I don't wanna think about it. It hurts my brain. I didn't like it enough, and this is not making it better. It there's something in it that I feel is
Too late.
wrong,
You've started
inherently
this with me. You've
deeply
started this with
wrong.
me now. It's going to get worse for you now because now we're going to talk about the car Pope. Cars 2, there's a point when they're in Italy, and the Pope is there. That implies car
I think there's car religion.
Christianity.
Wait, does this mean that there's a car Buddha?
This implies that somehow they crucified Car Jesus. How do you do that?
It gets worse. He
What
has
does a
no
biblically
arms.
accurate car angel look like?
A Cybertruck.
Fuck you. That fuck you.
You know it. And it doesn't
No.
look like a car.
It looks no.
Or is it
No.
or is it a helicopter?
No, because helicopters are sentient beings.
Right, but so are angels. But what if it's like a helicopter? Oh no, you know what it is? It's the flying machine from the Dune movie. It
An
looks like a bug.
ornithopter?
Yeah, it's
God
an
damn it.
ornithopter. Biblically accurate car angel is ornithopter. New
No, but
Cars
see
canon. Confirmed.
that's a flying vehicle. And that's a different like I don't know,
But birds
species of car.
but birds are also flying vehicles and also people, so then it's perfect if it's some kind of flying vehicle.
Yeah, but that's a that's a plane or flying vehicle thing. That's not a biblically accurate car angel.
But it's not a vehicle that exists in our world, therefore it can't exist in the Cars universe, so it could exist in the Cars religion.
No, no, no. See, like biblically accurate angels are like a bunch of like bird wings and like wheels
Wings.
within wheels
Yeah.
and so many eyes and all that. So it would be like modern art made out of car parts, not like a flying machine.
Somewhere in some kind of modern art museum, there is something that could be relabeled as a biblically accurate Cars angel.
Damn, now I kind of want to find that. You know, here,
Like I
here,
know
engagement with the
some modern
audience.
art.
Hey, if anybody knows of something that looks like that, comment it on the YouTube VOD. Comment comment about it.
Or draw it, even better.
Yeah, make it your own damn self.
Please don't use generative AI though. Thank you.
Well, that goes without saying. That's not making it yourself.
There seems to be a bit of a disconnect with that and
Yeah, but
parts of
our
society right
viewers
now.
would
So
be
I feel
smarter than
like
that.
disclaimer. Disclaimer.
Our
Please do
viewers
not
would and
use
should be
generative
smarter than
AI.
that.
I'm glad that we're shitting all over everybody in this podcast.
Says the one who talked shit about Wicked, about Thanksgiving, a bunch of shit last episode.
Although I say that you say that about the Wicked thing, but since then I have gotten four different news articles. Well, because it's listening to me, but like four different news articles about it from like actual news sources and not just like my little speculation that they're all dying of eating disorders.
Okay, sure. Speaking of news articles, there was something else you wanted to talk about that I don't know anything about.
Yeah. Speaking of academic hellscape, so as anyone who's in academia knows, it gets worse and worse every year. And this year, the new scandal in the academic community is that this girl from, I think it's Oklahoma University or Ohio. I don't know. It's OU, and there's like a couple of them
OU
that
is
could be that, and I don't remember.
Oklahoma State. Well, there's OU and OSU, I think. They might be the same thing. Anyway, that's Oklahoma.
Okay.
My grandpa's from
Yeah.
Oklahoma, so I'm used to hearing him and my dad talk about it.
Yeah, so she's in this gender it's an undergraduate student. The class is being this is relevant context. Because if you don't have this context, then you might take this the wrong way. She's an undergraduate student for psychology, I think. Um it's been a I've had a long day and I read the article 2 days ago. So I might have some details wrong. Don't take me on my word. I'll link it in the description um of the YouTube video, but I'm not gonna go search for it right now while we're on stream.
Fair
But
enough.
it's so this girl, this undergraduate student, is in this. I think it's upper division class. I don't know. She's in this class about gender studies. She's a psych student, and the final paper was supposed to be about the relationship between gender and bullying. And
Oh boy.
and like gender roles, specifically how like gender roles impact bullying. And this student wrote the most bullshit essay that I actually did read the essay that I have ever read. And I used to work as a TA, so I've read quite a lot of essays and like looked at student projects and stuff. And let me tell you, a lot of them are not good. Um, I'm a little concerned sometimes at how some people get into college, but this was like next level atrocious. She wrote the entire, first of all, she didn't follow the prompt at all, which is why the essay got a zero, which is what the grad student who was grading it said. But she wrote this essay all about how it's God's will that women are subordinate to men and engaging in gender and sexuality discourse is wrong. So that one obviously doesn't fulfill the prompt that's about, bullying. But beyond that, I'm advocating for the I'm always an advocate for different opinions, and I honestly, as much as I don't enjoy engaging with extreme Christianity in the academic setting, I recognize the importance of having diverse perspectives, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm fine if students want to write about their religious beliefs and they have found a way to relevantly talk about that in their papers. Like, as someone who's had to write a lot of papers, writing a paper about something you don't want to talk about fucking sucks. I'm not going to force that on anybody. I've done it plenty of times. I like, if you want to talk about how you think that the Bible upholds sexism, like, fine, but do a good job of it, right? Um, so not only does her paper not follow the prompt, she also, it's just a bad paper. She doesn't cite anything. She doesn't give verses from the Bible. She doesn't cite like what edition of the Bible it is. She doesn't talk about translations or anything like that. She's not doing an academic reading of the Bible, right?
Yeah.
Also, on top of it being just academically poor, it is just bad writing. It's full of grammar errors, there's run on sentences, there's not paragraph breaks, there's tons and tons of sentence fragments, things that are not connected, missing commas, things are spelled wrong. I mean, it really looks like a toddler wrote. Like, I've seen people in middle school who've written better essays than that with more argumentative backing and more coherency. It was depressing. So even ignoring the religious nature of the essay, it would have been a flat zero from me, or I guarantee you any other student teaching a class like that, just on the quality alone.
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't enough for her. She was really mad and she complained to the university and said that the professor gave her a zero because they had religious differences and that they were stifling her religious freedom of speech. And now this poor grad student who was grading this class um, is suspended.
What the fuck?
Yep.
Well, obviously that's
So,
bullshit,
yeah.
but man, people are stupid.
Yeah, it's just really frightening because one, she should never have been suspended in the first place. It should have been, and if she was, it shouldn't have been for a month. It should have been for like 2 days or something while her advisors reviewed it.
Mm-hmm.
And two, as someone who has done a year of grad school, who's going back to grad school, who's like deep, deep, deep in academia, that's terrifying. Because as a grad student, if you're in a PhD program like that and you are committed to that program, which is usually like a 4 to 5 year commitment minimum, um, you cannot like just go to a different school. Like you can't transfer into a different school, you can't leave the program. Usually those types of things are non transferable. So like even if you took classes there, then even if you go to a different PhD program, even if you get accepted into another PhD program, you won't have any credits. You'll have to start from scratch. And then it also will
Jesus.
like go on your permanent record. And the other thing about grad students that people don't give enough thought to, in my opinion, is that that is like basically working to not get paid. Grad students do 90% of the grading and these like entry level type classes. They tend to do most of the the academic system, at least in the United States, single-handedly runs on the fact that they are not paying grad students to do all of their work. So, majority of schools that have graduate programs, what they will do is they'll have graduate assistantships, which is such a bullshit term for it, where they like let the grad student teach classes so that they don't have to pay tuition, and oftentimes they'll give them a stipend, but the stipend is usually like $13,000 or something in the state of New York. And so it's like, okay,
Huh.
this doesn't even cover my rent, much less like food. And so what ends up happening is not only do you have, you know, you're working full time and you usually sign a contract that says you can't work another job, but also you're taking out loans. Like you have to. You can't and complete the program. There's some assistantships that are from really good schools. Like if you get into an Ivy League or like a really, really prestigious grad program, oftentimes the stipend will be enough for you to live, but it's not enough for you to like live comfortably. And you often have to have savings and work jobs over break and things like that, but you're not allowed to work other jobs while you're teaching. It's like expressly
God damn.
prohibited. And so the fact that they have suspended this girl, which means that she's no longer in her assistantship, at least right now. I mean, like, that's terrifying because she basically, if they decide to take away her position, she's fucked. Like, there's nothing she can do. And all on the, like, basis that this student feels like they're being discriminated against when arguably it has literally nothing to do with the fact that their essay was about the Bible and everything to do with the fact that they wrote a garbage essay. Like, and this goes back to something that I was thinking about earlier and have been thinking about a lot this semester with the classes that I've been in and a lot of the academic work I've been doing, which is that grade inflation, which isn't supposed to be a thing that happens in college, is a very real thing. There are very few classes that I've been in where I feel like I am doing the work. And like this is not to say like, oh, I'm gonna like, but like genuinely, like there's a couple classes I've been in this semester that are just ridiculously easy. Like
Hmm.
I'm in a 3,000 level Asian studies class. I wouldn't even finish the readings. I would like skim them and write a summary, and I would still get 100 on most of the assignments. In fact, I did so well in that class that I almost got 100% just for showing up. And I'm going to be so real.
Jesus.
That's not, yeah,
That's
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 not
that's
like,
not being graded on anything you've learned. That's literally just attending a goddamn class. That's I
it,
mean, I'm
and
glad you
this
got a
is the
good grade, but
bar.
that's stupid.
Right. Like, I'm glad I got a good grade too, but I also think that that shouldn't be the bar by which we're like evaluating people's academic success,
Mhm.
and whether or not they're learning. I think this like fear of testing and getting a bad grade and all these things has ruined our academic system. Like, first of all, we shouldn't have a system in place where to be successful and get into grad school and do all these other things, you have to get A's. Because that means that no professors or teachers will ever fail people
Hmm.
because it there's too much pressure both on the part of the university and on the part of the student to get a good grade. It means that students will do things like this where they will say, "Hey, fuck you, you didn't like my essay and you failed me, therefore how dare you?" Like, right? But the point of
Mhm.
getting a grade in class is not to show whether or not you're somehow superior to the people around you. It's to show whether or not you learned the material.
Yeah, or it should be.
Right. So if you're getting A's in everything and you're not learning anything, then what that you might as well be getting C's, like it's all the same.
Mhm.
Um, and it means that there's no inherent value to the grades that you're getting, which means that even if you go and apply to all these grad schools, then what's the point? How are they even going to know that you're actually academically successful? And the worst part about it is I'm not going to like government name my university that I'm at right now, but the university that I'm at right now is supposed to be like one of the top 100 universities in the country. Like it might even be in the top 50. Like it is a really good school,
Mhm.
except that this is what's happening here. So what is happening at the ones that aren't here?
Yeah.
And it's a little bit terrifying. And I know at least part of it is like a pandemic thing because
Mhm.
post-pandemic there's been like a huge shift in like academic culture, but at the same time it's like what the fuck?
Interesting and concerning. I've never been happier that I didn't follow through on going to college.
Yeah, well, it's also really interesting because when I was studying abroad in Japan and I was having a lot of conversations with other students in other parts of the world, and they were just completely shocked with how like how the academic system in the United States works. So it's definitely not
Hmm.
like that everywhere. It seems to be more of an issue here, but I think all of it inevitably ties back to the fact that education is so expensive here. People feel like because they're paying for it, they deserve to get A's to some extent, I think. And so like, okay, well, if I'm shelling out, yeah, if I'm shelling out 100K a year or whatever, I should not be getting an F, which that's really shouldn't be how it works. Like you education one should be free. Um
Hmm.
and two, it should actually, at least in my opinion, college should actually be more selective. I think a high school education should be able to get you a job, and that a college education should be reserved for things that actually require education, and not like what we have now, which is that everyone needs a college education to get a job because the job market is shit and everybody is awful. Huh. And I also just genuinely don't think that everybody is cut out for academia. And that's not to say that like these people are stupid. I mean,
I
some of
feel
them
like
are,
I'm a very smart person, and that would be hell for me.
but some people just that is not for them. Like
Hmm.
I would not expect like people that I know in my life, you as well as like my cousins and other people who just like don't like this, to sit down and write a fucking 10-page paper about like Chinese masculinity. Like that's not for everybody. Not everybody wants to do that. And it
Hmm.
shouldn't be the expectation that everybody should want to do that. And even when you're in other types of majors and you're in other fields, there's still the expectation there's still, because of the way that university is and academia is, there's still the expectation that you have to do all of those things. And if that's not something that you're capable or you want to do, then I don't think the expectation should be that you do that. I think
Yeah.
there should be other pathways forward,
Hmm.
but there's not in our current society, at least in the United States.
Yeah. Wowee, and I was worried we wouldn't have things to talk about today.
I said I'm an academic hell, and I said let me share that with the entire audience.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure plenty of people can relate, especially like people who are interested in the content you've made and follow your YouTube. So,
Did you want to talk about your roof, or should we save that for next week and leave everybody in suspense?
okay, it's not my roof. Like, I'm not even on the top floor. I live in an apartment. I don't own the roof. What I was gonna complain about is that so I live on the second floor of like a three-story apartment building, right? They blocked the stairs. There's no other way to get up to my apartment. They blocked both sets of stairs because that was somehow in the way of the construction they're doing on the roof. It's stupid and annoying, and I had to fucking climb over caution tape to get to and from my apartment. That was
I
it.
think that that's a valid complaint, and I think you should write a very upset letter to the leasing office about how they made it so you can't leave your house.
Uh, uh, I'm. I want to make sure I'm actually staying here for the next leasing period, so I'll complain later.
I'm very, as someone who worked in real estate, pro complaining to the apartment people. I think everyone should do it all the time, even as someone who had to hear the complaints. Like
Yeah.
I I promise you that if you don't say anything, no one knows or cares and nothing will get done. And even if they do know and care, oftentimes you have to tell them at least 10 times.
Hmm. Yeah. I look. I have bigger complaints about my place than that, and I don't say shit. So.
I just want to strangle everybody who leaves their dirty food out so that the roaches can come and eat it.
Yeah, but what else is gonna feed the stray cats around?
There are no stray cats here.
Good for you.
Which campus? You think that the university police are gonna let that shit slide? I'm sure
Stray
they round them all
cats?
up.
What the fuck?
And I mean, I don't think they like go out and shoot them, but I'm sure they take them to like the shelter, the Humane Society or something.
They fucking better. You can't end the podcast on that note. Come on.
Well, it's illegal to do animal cruelty. I'm sure the cops are not committing animal cruelty, but they're not leaving them on campus.
I'm upset
And that is
now.
the note I'm going to leave the, the podcast on.
You know what? Just for that, you do the outro. You figure out an outro.
me out for the last 3 times, so I don't know what you're on about. Anyways, if you liked the episode, go ahead and give us a thumbs up on my YouTube channel, and leave a comment down below with your opinions on academia, or if you have thoughts on what the biblically accurate car angels look like. I am gonna go study until I probably get like those caffeine shakes that make you want to die. And I guess Bryn's just not gonna say anything for the rest of the episode. I
I
guess
was
that's how
waiting
we're
for
gonna
you
end
to
it.
finish. You may have done the outro the last 4 times, but that doesn't mean I'm going to acknowledge or like it.
I don't do that bad of an outro, but okay.
No, I meant the fact that you're right, not that you did the outro. You do great at the outro. I just don't want to admit that you're right.
The foundation of our relationship. And on that
Oh,
note,
come
bye
on.
everybody.
Bye.